To start off this video, understand that if you have a team that needs to connect to a Salesforce to flow meeting data from your CRM, or you need other advanced features to operate your team, such as reporting, meeting distribution, and automations, then this video is not for you. This is for the small business or solopreneur that has a calendar and they want to schedule bookings, they want to schedule appointments, they want to get paid for those bookings or offer paid bookings as you see here. Then TidyCal has a lifetime plan, a single payment of $29. So if you have a simple Google Calendar where you book appointments, but you have other calendars that you want to make sure that you track, to make sure that your bookings and your calendar stay synced up, then TidyCal is for you. TidyCal has different booking types. Again, this is a one-time price. Link in the description. This is an app sumo tool. And the idea here is you can create new booking types. And then on one page, you can have one page for all of your calendars, or you can link to unique individual calendars based upon these different settings to include these advanced booking types, the advanced booking settings here. So you can set how far out you can book your users. You can set a minimum meeting padding or buffer. This is the time you need between meetings to maybe get up and get a drink or prepare for the next meeting. You can also set maximum bookings. You can also interact with, or you can set up locations, Google Meet, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, or even a static link. So maybe you could redirect them to a page where you have all the bookings if your bookings aren't Google Meet, Zoom, or Meet Teams. You can also let people know that you're going to be on a telephone call. You can set up a custom message here. Maybe you're going to send the information to them via chat or an email, or maybe there's no location at all. Here you can also enable group bookings for more than one attendee. So if you have multiple people that are going to be in this group, like it says here, this is used for classes, activities, live meetups where you get together and you are teaching a group. So that group can see the registration there, and I'll show you an example of that here in a second. You can allow your guests to invite folks as well. Here's probably the biggest one you can charge for bookings. You can take PayPal payments, you can take Stripe payments, or TidyCal even has a built-in payment processor. Here's another one. You can ask questions. So you can ask questions here. So you can make sure that when people book or schedule your time, especially if they're paying, you don't waste their time and you don't waste their time by making sure that you have a predetermined itinerary or path for the conversation to go. Here you can enable package or recurring bookings. This is if you have a recurring meeting or workshops, you can allow people to schedule and book your calendar or schedule the appointments. I'll show you an example of that as well. Custom email reminders, enable custom or confirmation redirect page, enable private mode. This is if you have a booking that you don't want people to see on your main URL. And then here is a directory that TidyCal provides. But all you need to do is fill out these options and pick the options that you need to include setting your availability. Here you can set a weekly calendar, or you can use specific dates. And then again, you can go back to weekly, and then down here you can add unavailable dates, specific dates that you don't want to show up in the weekly calendar. So you can make sure that you block those off inside of your calendar. Again, we're talking about a solopreneur or a small business that has a single calendar or has one calendar inside, for example, say Google Docs, your Google Calendar, and you have other calendars that sync up. And we'll take a look at that. For example, you can see I have an appointment here on June 6th with Niche Pursuits. It's a community call that I'm going to be a member of, and I want to make sure that no one books any of my time that I have scheduled or I have made available for June the 6th. So when you're creating that booking, when you scroll down and you set your available booking, what you're doing here is you're setting those different time frames, but you'll notice that all the options here, the syncing of calendars is not per booking type, it's actually global. And here you come over to integrations, and under integrations, this is where you connect your calendars up to 10, your Google Calendar, your 365 calendar, or an Apple Calendar. Here you can see that it's able to read, and if reading is enabled, that is one of your 10 calendars. So my primary calendar here, this is my booking calendar. This is a calendar I use. It's tied to my Gmail account. Then I have the holiday calendar, as well as here you can see I'm also a member of a community. It's Niche Pursuits community. And when they schedule and have a booking on there, I want to attend their meetings. So I make sure that I can read that calendar, or I make sure that TidyCal can read this calendar. Again, you have the ability to set up video conferences. Here you can integrate with Zoom, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams. You can take payments with Stripe or PayPal. If you were or are using Calendly and you realize that you have a bunch of features on there that you're not paying for, or you just don't want to pay for it versus the one-time price, you can connect Calendly or connect your account here and import your booking and additional settings here as well. There's also an advanced tab here for Zapier automations. I'll show you one of those that I use with my GetResponse account to make sure that anyone that schedules a meeting with me gets put into my GetResponse email account or added to a contact list so I can follow up with them on email or with email. There's also an option here to create date polls. Date polls are simply where you create a poll and you list a set of dates and you're asking people, hey, which date works best for you? It is a poll where people or a group can pick a date and then you can schedule that date based upon their votes. Here you have your booking calendar and you can see basically it just shows your bookings. You can see here that I have a booking every Monday at 12 p.m., but then any other bookings that people schedule with me will show up here on my calendar. Also have a list of contacts here inside of TidyCal. I can export those contacts if I want to put those into my CRM or my email autoresponder. But also under integrations, I have an automation using Zapier, which I use the free version of Zapier. Anytime I get a new booking in TidyCal, it simply creates or updates the contact to the email list that I specify here over in GetResponse. It is that simple. And again, this is a Zapier free account. It works like a charm. Now back to the different types of bookings. Here you can see I have a booking that is for a group. You have the option to delete that, clone that, or edit it. And real quick, I'll bring that calendar up or the booking page. This is where people can book. You can see it's a group setting. I've also added a note here. It set the meeting at 2 hours. There are 11 seats, meaning that there are 11 people in the meeting. The meeting recurs weekly. And then I just put a simple note in here to make sure that they understand that they're registering. For example, they're going to register for the 27th. Then again, if they want to attend the meeting on the 3rd, or maybe they can't make the 10th, but they want to make the 17th and the 24th, then they simply just come here and they package these together, or they confirm their bookings to make sure that they schedule all of these dates, up to 14 dates. In this case, I'm going all the way out to August. So you can see that they can just select all these dates and then they can book them in one convenient booking location, and it adds them to my schedule. If you scroll down to my booking types here, you'll see a 60-minute meeting. This is a paid booking that I have on my main booking page. And if you were to check that one out, you can see this is a 60-minute meeting. It is scheduled for 1 hour. They do have to pay $200 to schedule this. I've added some instructions here, simply just added the text when I was editing this meeting so they understand what's going to happen. You can see here that I'm available on the 28th, available on the 29th, or the 30th for them to book at any of these times. It is for a 1-hour meeting. Now, if we were to fast forward to June, remember I had that scheduled meeting on my calendar, and that was at 1 o'clock. So you can see there is no option here to schedule a 1 o'clock meeting. And if you go to the 5th, you'll see here that I have 12, 12:15, 12:30, 12:45, 1 p.m., 1:15, 1:30, 1:45, 2 p.m. But if I select the 6th, you can see all those options because it's synced with my calendar, or it's synced with the calendar that I've allowed TidyCal to read. And when you go back to the pricing plan, if you're on the lifetime plan, that max calendar contacts is right here. The number of calendars you can connect to be read by TidyCal. It's important to note that regardless of the number of read calendars, there can only be one write calendar. That's your main calendar where the actual events or the bookings are scheduled, but you get up to 10 calendars that can be read for your max calendar connections. And again, that's under integrations, under this hamburger menu, under calendars. This is where you connect your calendars to avoid scheduling conflicts and auto add TidyCal bookings. Define your primary calendar where bookings are added, and also calendars you want to check for conflicts, meaning any calendar that can be read, which can be toggled right here. You can enable or disable reading of that calendar, and this counts as your 10 calendars. So if you share a calendar like I do here with another community or with other team members, then you can read those calendars to make sure that there's no conflicts. But there's only one calendar as primary, and that is where your bookings will be added to your calendar. So again, Calendly, if you have a team and you need all these advanced features, for example, to connect to Salesforce, to flow meeting data into a CRM, then you're definitely going to need to pay, like you see here, $20 or more a month. for those features because that is what Calendly does. That is what Calendly is good at. But TidyCal for a one-time price for a single payment for solopreneurs, for setting up all your bookings, whether they be paid or free, and keeping your calendar synced with scheduled appointments that you make with clients. Link in the description for this single payment of $29 over at AppSumo. Click that. Highly recommended. Check it out. If you got any questions, let me know in the comments. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.